Hi y'all, Jenny Shaw from Barefoot Abbey here bringing you this week's edition of Monday Music Musings. If you don't know us already, you might know of our Singing with the Saints video hymn study or the Baby Proof Your Homeschool podcast. So today we're going to be continuing our series on hymns and talking about the breath. And the breath is really the electricity that fuels our machine of singing. You have to have air moving over the vocal cords in order to produce sound. So that's the firm foundation that we need to be singing. So today I wanted to talk about two things regarding the breath, and one is really how to breathe, and the second is when to breathe. How do we know when to take a breath while we are singing? So with the first one, you're going to really want to get as deep and full of a breath as possible when you're singing, because the goal is to make it to the end of the whole line of the hymn. Now, you're going to have to have it not be a vanity thing. You're going to have to extend your tummy as much as possible because you want to get your lungs completely filled. You want that diaphragm to have space to move down and therefore have space for the lungs to expand to their full capacity. So that's the first part, making sure you have that full deep breath, because that's what's going to sustain you throughout the whole line of the hymn. Now, the second part that we're going to focus on today is how to know when to breathe. Now, if you're, reading a hymnal, you're going to have lines, and then when you come to an end of a line, at the end of the page there, you'll be able to know when to read. The same thing if you just use our text pages from Singing with the Saints. You just go to the end of the line. But what if you do not have that lung capacity yet, or haven't strengthened those muscles to yet be able to make it to the end of the line? What are you going to do about that? You've got to breathe in order to make a sound. So what you're going to do in those cases is you're going to look for a comma or a period at the end of the sentence. And that's where you're going to take a breath, because even if it's not the end of the line like the composer intended, it's as close as possible as you can get and still keep that musicality that they wrote. So those are the two main things I wanted to focus on today about the breath. And we will continue this series next week, talking about diction and how we can balance our words to be understood while we're singing, because that's the whole point. If we can't be understood and get those sacred texts to those listening, there's not much point. So that's our preview of next week. And if you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, or questions about getting started with hymns in your home, just let us know. You can go to the comments here, leave me a comment, shoot me a DM on Instagram, or you can also, if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, leave a comment there, or head on over to barefootabbey.com/M3 to find all our older episodes of Monday Music Musings, as well as a contact box that you can use for any questions or suggestions. So until next week, just keep making a joyful noise.